All right, Holly, let us know when you're ready to
I'm gonna
start.
do this. All right, let's go. Shoot, we
All
late
right,
already.
let's go.
Hey y'all.
Good
Hello.
evening. Good
Hi.
evening.
Good evening.
Look what the
Welcome,
cat done
welcome.
drug in. Us.
Welcome, women, Black women. We are excited to see you this Sunday. Feels like it's been a few weeks since we've been on. I am Christina Q. I'll be one of your hosts tonight. And Holly, Chantel.
Oh, well, I'm Holly Holiday, and they done drug me back up onto the moderator stage, and I'm happy to be here with my sisters.
And
Yeah.
I am Chantel Mullen, rounding out the uh fabulous triplets that are on stage. I was trying
Come
to
on,
think of a cute
triplets.
I was trying to think of a cute name for us, but I couldn't come up with anything in the morning, in the
Because
minute.
we
But
always say twins. We always say twins, but now
Mm-mm.
it's triplet. Got it.
we the triplets. We are the I can't even think of a T word. Oh my goodness. But anyway, hey y'all.
We are
Happy
the
to be
tremendous
here.
triplets, okay?
Yes, yes,
Doing all the
yes.
things.
Yeah, Sister Joteka sends her regret she couldn't be on with us tonight. So please send her some love and prayers as she gets better. She's under the weather, so just send her some love. Also put in the chat where you're calling in from, where we love to see the cities and the states represented in the call. So put in the chat where you're calling in from and let us know so we can see you calling in from all over. We're so excited. We have a dynamic lineup of sisters tonight, and we're so excited to start our call. And we're going to be rocking and rolling. We're going to get y'all in and get y'all out. But I wanted my sister to start with me tonight, and so y'all can know that we were hosting together as the triplet host, the host committee tonight. And so, thank you,
About to
Holly and
get us into
Chantel.
some good trouble, okay?
Exactly. So we'll hear more from Holly and Chantel in a little bit, but without further ado, first I want to just, well, actually, yeah, I want to start with our ground rules. I forgot about that before we go into our prayer. Yeah, usually we're in the backstage making everything happen. So that's where I prefer to live. But I'll make sure I stay on script tonight. But it's our honor to have all of you on with us and to convene this call. To every woman on the line, thank you for showing up week after week. It means so much to us that you all are here. We also try to provide you very good information that you can take back to your states and to your local community and be the change that we all want to see. We know we are in a fight for our rights and our freedoms like never before. So we think these calls are just tremendously important in sharing information. And so this is a sacred space, it's a brave space where we build here and we build trust. We also want you to know. Please, well, you have to keep yourselves muted because you're in a webinar, but you can also drop your questions. We have a Q&A where our team is monitoring that during the call. So if you have any questions, we monitor that. We also tell our panelists who are speaking on the call that you all have questions, and we try to get those answered in real time on the call. We move with love and respect and purpose always, and always we open in the spirit and we close in the spirit. And you should also know anything on this call. Everyone is welcome to join this call. That's a Black woman in your respective places. And but we speak out against racism and sexism wherever and whenever we encounter it. We work to educate and elect Black women to office in our personal capacities, and we lift up the collective power and image of Black women everywhere. And before we go any further, we want to thank the people the women who power this movement. The three of us, of course. We also have Holly Weeks, who we can't do anything without, especially our social media exists because of Holly Weeks. And Jewel Love, Dr. Edwina Ward. Please give them some hearts in the chat. These sisters have been volunteers with us for the last 5 years since the beginning of Women Black Women, much like myself. And so we just thank them for their continuous service. Jewel Love sends you all those amazing emails week after week with the job postings and opportunities so that we can make sure that we are being a network of resource to you all as well. And so we say thank you to our sisters who power this movement each and every week as well. So without further ado, we'll start and we'll open in prayer. Holly, Chantel, did I miss anything in the opening?
Nope,
No,
you
but
did a
let's thank
fabulous
everybody for
job.
joining us, okay? Hearts for that. Yes.
Yes.
We
Yes.
appreciate y'all rocking with us every time we show up on Sunday. So I just want to thank all of you all. Because if y'all wouldn't show up, what would we be doing? We'd be talking to ourselves, and we do that all the time anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All
Right.
right, let's pray.
Yes. So without further ado, we're going to welcome Reverend Dr. Heidi Lovett. She's a licensed Christian counselor who specializes in water trauma, water anxiety, and water therapy. And she's hailing from the, I don't know about, so I was about to say the great state of Texas, but I don't know if it's so great right now. But welcome, Dr. Heidi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, beautiful people. I just want to start off with Matthew chapter 12, verse 35. And it reads, a good woman brings good things out of the good stored up in her. Let us center our hearts and minds on the word good. G stands for the gifts that God gave each of us. Each of us has a separate gift that is needed in this movement. The first O stands for the opportunity to serve. We are in need of more servant leaders. The second O stands for the many opportunities to organize and become effective organizers. And the D stands for divine daughters. We thank our mothers and fathers who have given us this purpose, who have given us this mission, who have given us this fight. And I want you to remember every day this week to look into the mirror and say, oh God, I thank you for the good that you have placed in me. Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for creating each woman for such a time as this. God, you gifted her everything that she's needed. And so we are glad for the power that she has. God, thank you for the job postings. God, heal our hearts and minds. Heal our sister Jatega and every sister out there who's in need of a physical or a mental healing. God, we thank you for our children, our grandchildren, and our great grandchildren. God, we thank you to everyone who's connected to us. God, for the 4,000 women who are without a job, God, we ask for provision right now in the name of Jesus. God, as we must depart from each other electronically, we know that our hearts are connected. So we thank you for Holly. We thank you for Chantel. We thank you for Christina. We thank you for everyone who plays a dear part in this effort to keep us free. God, Free. We know that the blood was shed, and so we thank you for the freedom and all the opportunities that we enjoy on this day. Dear Heavenly Father, if there's something that I said that touched a woman's heart, God, free her from that opportunity. God, if there's something that I said that a woman is worried about, God, give her a clear heart and mind. For this and all other blessings we ask, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Heidi. We appreciate that so much. That's an awesome prayer. We appreciate you. And now, just a couple weeks ago, we announced that we had All Roads Lead to the South, and as you all know, we are definitely having an ongoing fight right now in the southern states, and so we are going to we after we open in the spirit, we always have one of our fearless leaders, one of our congressional members here with us to give us a congressional update about the incredible work that they are doing at the national level in Congress to help fight for us. And so I'd love to welcome one of our fearless leaders on the front lines of the movement since the beginning of time, since I've met her, and especially in the voting rights space, Congresswoman Terry Sewell. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stage, Congresswoman. How you
Welcome.
doing tonight? Or we
Thank
just saw
you.
you in Montgomery,
I
and
know, I
you've
know.
been fighting the good fight every before that and continuing. So we'll turn it over to you to just give us a congressional update on what's going on right now.
Well, I bring you greetings from the 750,000 people that I represent in the awesome District Number 7. I get to represent the historic cities of Birmingham and Tuscaloosa and my hometown of Selma, Alabama. I want to begin by just thanking all of you on this call for your prayers, for your movement, for your spirit, and for those that came to Montgomery, Alabama, when all roads led to the South. I want to thank Latasha Brown, my sister from Selma, as well as Black Voters Matter, and all of the thousands of organizations that came and the thousands of people that were there. It was truly inspirational to see a multi-generational, multicultural, gathering that was there, not to protest, but a call to action. a call to action. And so with that in mind, I just want to say that the Congressional Black Caucus has been busy since the Calais decision came out April 29th. It will live as a day in infamy for me. I think all of you know that the Supreme Court on that date and the Calais case really dealt a devastating blow to our democracy and to voting rights. It paved the way for what I believe will be the greatest reduction of Black representation in American history. And we cannot do that without a fight. And I want all of you to know that I'm going to give you a little bit of an assignment at the end of this, but want to make sure that you all know that all of us play a part. And we in Congress try to use our microphone, especially the Congressional Black Caucus, the conscience of the Congress. I think many of you know that we were founded in 1972, and with 13 members, only one Black woman, Shirley Chisholm. And today, 2026, we are 62 strong, and over half of us are female. And so we stand as a mighty caucus within the Democratic caucus in Congress, and we exercise that our voices and our collective votes that way. So just before we broke for spring recess, something called the SCORES Act was about to be voted on. And the SCORES Act was to deal with the name, image, and likeness of our athletes. And we in the Black Caucus, because of the deafening silence of corporations, of people just letting these Southern states and these Southern legislatures, seemingly, unpressured by anybody, to just take our representation away, the Congressional Black Caucus stood firm and unanimously voted to make sure that our Black children who are athletes, they may love us 12 Saturdays in a year, every year during football season, but we really cannot support legislation that benefits these institutions that continue to remain silent. Institutions in the SEC, which is where the Southern East Southeastern Conference, which many of the Southern states that have tried and did take away our representation. We, in the wake of that, the Congressional Black Caucus decided not to remain silent while our voting rights and political power were systematically dismantled. We challenged our Black athletes to go to other schools, to frequent other schools as well. I mean, to play at other schools. I mean, obviously there are more leagues in the SEC. And it really was an effort by us that we were sick and tired of being sick and tired, frankly. And in our unanimous vote on taking down this SCORES Act, which we did, by the way, didn't come up for a vote because they didn't have the votes to pass it. But we also wanted this to mean something. And so we have really tried to use our platform to encourage others to speak up and speak out. So Black athletes, have helped build these collegiate athletics into one of the most powerful and profitable industries in American life. And institutions that profit from Black talent, we believe, should be responsible to stand up for those communities when their fundamental rights are under attack. Silence in the face of injustice is not neutrality, it is complicity. And so with that, we issued our press release and we stood in a press conference with current SEC athletes and former SEC athletes. And, we have been mobilized and organized by current pro athletes. And the reception has been overwhelming. Now, we know that we're coming in at the end of recruitment season for this year, but we fully expect that people will Black athletes will take a second look at the schools that they're going to. You can't play football for me and then not want me to have a vote or to dilute my vote. It seems so unfair. So that was the first action we did. Then we issued a letter to all the major corporations. And we said in that letter that we expect these corporations that depend upon our dollars, corporations that benefit from Black consumers, Black workers, and Black communities, can't remain silent while Black political power is dismantled in plain sight. When democracy and Black political representation is under attack, there is no neutral ground. So we challenge these corporations also to speak up and speak out. And what I mean by that, let me just tell you how that has been reflected in Alabama. That has been reflected in a lot of these corporations. You know, we challenge them to use their state lobbyists who lobby the state house to speak about how this is hurting Alabama and business in Alabama. Business as usual is not happening, and encourage these legislators to do something else and vote to just to be fair, I guess is what it is. We're not asking people to do something that is, that is not something that a fundamental right that all of us have. In fact, what we're fighting for is a fundamental right, the right to vote. And we know the people in my district back in the 60s and 70s and people fought, bled, and died for the right to vote. And we just cannot go back without a fight. And so the Congressional Black Caucus challenged corporations, we've challenged our Black athletes, and we've challenged the Black community. We have to use our influence to influence those who profit off of our talent and our money. And I think it's time that we do that. And so we in the Congressional Black Caucus have had, mixed reviews about both, but people have by and large been very supportive of our effort. And we just ask you all to think twice about your dollars and definitely about where you send your athletic children to college. Those were the two big events that happened before we broke from Congress. We've been on a recess this week, and I just want you to know what's going on in Alabama. So last Friday, there was a hearing where the plaintiffs in the Milligan case called for the court in Alabama, federal court in Alabama, to issue a temporary injunction, a preliminary injunction, stopping the state of Alabama from having its primary, a second primary that the governor called for August 11th. And mind you, we were in the midst of voting already for a primary. I qualified back in January. And now all of a sudden I have to qualify for this second primary as well. Well, the 3-judge panel and all 3 judges from were appointed by conservatives, Republicans, one Reagan appointee, 2 Trump appointees, unanimously issued the preliminary injunction. The state of Alabama promptly then asked the Supreme Court for an expedited hearing and an expedited motion to vacate that injunction. And so the briefs are all due tomorrow by 4 o'clock, Monday by 4 o'clock. And if we drew Clarence Thomas as our shadow justice who is sort of leading this effort for the Supreme Court. And I mean, I hope and pray that he finds heart and that he looks in the mirror. But I am mighty afraid that the Supreme Court will lift that injunction and we will still have to fight to keep my seat, but more importantly, to keep Shamari Figure's seat. The map that we've reverted to in Alabama has me at 49.7% and has him at 37%. And both are going to be challenging, but clearly the seat that we fought for and won in the Supreme Court in 2023, that seat right now is being occupied by Shamari, and he's doing a fantastic job, and we need to keep him. The other news of the day was that South Carolina stood down. Their state met in a special session, and the state senators left without, they adjourned without actually touching the map. So I think that our towering giant, Jim Clyburn, should be okay, at least for this year. So all roads do lead to the South. I just want to end by saying our assignment, should you choose to take it, which I know you will, is to mobilize and organize and register people to vote, and more importantly, take them to the polls. We know that we're in primary season now, and we know that the November election is so consequential, and we cannot be on the sidelines. Everyone has a role to play. We're going to continue to legislate and continue to use our microphone and platform to promote all that we know is fair. And we want our citizens to do what they should do, which is to vote. So with that, I just want to say again, thank you. I want to thank all the founders of Black Women Win, and Win with Black Women. And I just want you all to know that I am so grateful to have a safe space like this where we can come together weekly and talk about issues that affect us, and we can be real with one another. And we also can know that we have each other's back. I'll never forget crying to Latasha on the phone, and she said, "We need to organize something." I'm like, what about you do this all the time? She's like, "We all roads lead to the south." And that's kind of how that snowballed. And I just wanted to thank her. Like, it's one thing to offer a Kleenex to wipe my face. It's a whole nother thing to literally pump me up and keep me standing. So we stand together, and we will continue this fight because we know that this vote is a sacred thing, and we cannot go back. We won't go back. Thank you.
Yes. No, thank you for your work, Congresswoman Sewell. And you said this is the greatest reduction of our Black representation. And I mean, that could not be more true. I know watching the other states go through this, I know I felt hurt every time it happens in another state. And it also sets a precedence for when it happens in your state. And so,
Yes.
and so you may not think that you're impacted if you don't live in Alabama or South Carolina or wherever, but it could happen in your state if it keeps happening in our states right now.
And especially on all levels. These
Yes.
maps are drawn for not just congressional seat, but state
Right.
legislative seats, for city council and county commissioners. So this Calais decision has far-reaching effect, and it will mean a reduction in Black representation.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. And then I know you said you want to thank Latasha Brown and give her flowers, and I was just about to introduce her anyway. So Latasha, you can come on off camera, because I know you and Congresswoman Sewell, y'all be working offline. That's one of your partners in the trenches, in the foxhole, as we call it. And so I'll let you take a minute to give Latasha her flowers.
I think they moved
Oh,
it to the other side. So yes, we're all good.
Well, good. Okay, well, we'll keep on moving, then we'll move on to the state and the national level. So
Yeah, okay. Are you gonna put me back in? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Latasha, thank you, my sister. I know that growing up in Selma, you and I both really understand the import of our city, but to take our city's mantra and to live it and make it your own, and to further that legacy, that proud legacy of Selma, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I mean from the depths of my heart. And I thought that the rally was amazing. It was a call to action, and all roads do lead to the South or through the South.
Amen. Thank you, sister, for your leadership. Terry brings home the bacon, takes care of her district. And Congresswoman Sewell, we're very, very proud of you. And I loved your mama. Her mother was a mentor of mine. So I love your mama. So I know she is very, very proud of you. So we will keep fighting.
Keep fighting. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. All right, sisters. And so now, our fearless leader, Latasha, has been on. I think, Tasha, you've been on the last couple of calls because this voting rights stuff has been a battle. And we've been in the trenches working for the people. And so we're bringing a state and national voting rights panel to you all. So I'll introduce all of our panelists. We have of course, our sister, Latasha Brown. We also have our sister, Brittany Packnett Cunningham. You can go ahead and turn on your camera. And then we have our sister April England Albright. Please come on stage. And then, of course, my favorite and the hardest working senator in the state of South Carolina, in my state, Senator Tamika Isaac Devine. Please come on stage. Yes. Okay. So this is going to be so much fun. So, sisters, we already were talking about, Congresswoman Sewell kind of already teased out a little bit of what we were going to talk about. So, Latasha, I'm gonna turn it over to you because we know we're under attack, but we've also been trying to make sure that we convey the message that we still have the power, and that what we have to do is come together and unite and organize and mobilize. Like Congresswoman Sewell said, that's what we did in Montgomery. It was amazing. We've been doing it in other states. I know Brittany's going to talk about that too. So go ahead and just kick us off with the panel on what are we doing right now? What's the current status, and what are we doing right now to fight back and come together?
So I know we're gonna hear an update from both Brittany, Sister April, and Sister Tamika. So I'm gonna try to be short. One, I just want to say thank you to all the people that have showed up and have done the work. What we were able to do is to kind of build and come together as a coalition, over 228 Black-led organizations. The folks been throwing down. So there's not been one organization that has been leading. There's been all of us that have been leading on the front lines to make this happen. That we had about 6,000 people in Montgomery that we know of. There was another 1,000 or 2,000 in Selma. And then on Mississippi, 3 days later, the people in Mississippi, the coalitions in Mississippi, shout out to Kenya Clanton, they did the thing. They had almost 6,500 people in
On a
Mississippi.
weekday.
All on a weekday, on a Tuesday,
On a weekday.
right? Louisiana has been throwing down. So the Power Coalition in Louisiana, like I can go on Georgia. We getting ready. Y'all know we ain't playing that in Georgia. We getting ready, y'all. So we've got some upcoming events. And so before I go on to that, like there are 3 quick points I want to make. One, we have been talking about voter suppression and the need to vote for so long that in many ways, I think people think that this moment is like, oh, that's what they do all the time. No, this ain't that moment. We're in a very, very different moment. And so part of what's happening is we've got to actually raise, sisters, like in the words of Beyonce, it's time to get in formation, that we've got to raise it to another level. This is not the traditional voter suppression. This isn't the traditional hit. This is literally a complete onslaught to undermine Black political voting power, to eliminate, to get us at the point that we're literally at post-Reconstruction. I didn't say civil rights, post-Reconstruction. It is that bad. And so I think it's important for us to do a couple of things in this moment. One, if we don't, those of us who care about this issue, if we're not raising the alarm, and not just the alarm like, oh, just voter suppression. If we're operating like this is just a normal election cycle, people will respond that way. So every single one, sister that is on here, you have been officially deputized, that in this moment, we are the ambassadors for our people. It is important that you actually take the time in your workplace, in your family, in your networks. We have to let people know what is happening. We are in a crisis. And what is scaring me is that we're not operating or responding to this in the same crisis, the intensity of the attacks, we're not responding in that. So I need all of us to be deputized, one, to really find out what's the information, be able to tell people we have got to turn out in this next midterm elections. If we do not turn out in this midterm election, and not just like turn out, we've got to overperform, because y'all know they're going to try to steal it. They're already doing it right now. So we're going to have to overcompensate for them seeking to steal that. But I can guarantee you, if the election, this midterm election, we don't win, it is going to set us back possibly 50 years. It's that intense, if not longer. So one, I think it's important for you all that are on here to understand how urgent this moment is. I'm gonna let the sisters really give an update of what we got to do next. But we've got to get information and make the call and say, no, this ain't for play. This ain't just about an election. Matter of fact, this ain't even really about election. This is fundamentally about our power. So that's important. The second thing that I want to raise connected to that is really around funding. I'm just going to tell y'all, I am so proud of our organizations. Folks talking about Black folks can't get along. That the devil is a liar. That we have been operating and groups have been coming. I'm thinking about Pastor Mike and Live Free, DeWanna Thompson. I can go on and on. Brittany Packnett, like folks who've just been jumping in, using their network and their leverage to be able to do this work. And they've been volunteering. And so while they've been kind of doing that in this moment, all of us have been doing this in this moment, it is important that we recognize that it takes funds. Like them signs and the buses, that stuff costs money. And what we're not seeing, we need money. And I mean, we need our movements to be funded. An organization that you know that's on the front lines, a civil rights or voting rights organization, please write a check today. It could be $25, it could be $100. Many of the foundations have backed away because they are afraid or they've capitulated because and they're not really interested in Black power. They use us for participation, but not necessarily build our power. That's the second thing. The third and the last final thing that I'll say this is it's really important for you to stay engaged in some level. Many of the women organizations that have been a part of this network, from Black Women's Roundtable to the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation to NCNW to Black Voters Matter, to many of our organizations are engaged. Go to the website. You cannot do this by yourself. You can't figure this out on the internet. You've got to connect with a Black-led organization so that you are, when we make the call, that we can make the call. We can't depend on the media, y'all. We cannot depend on mainstream media. So I'll stop right there because I think it's really important that we hear kind of some of the updates of some of the things that we need. But y'all, this is not a normal moment. I'll say this: I've been doing voting rights 30 years of my life. I have never been in this position. We have never been here in my lifetime. So this is a crisis. The alarms are running. But what I do know is we got us, that Black folk know how to organize. We can turn things around, but it's going to take us having the discipline and the rigor. We cannot show up the same way. Economically, from now, we're kicking off, and I'll turn it over back to you, Q, that now, from now until the midterm election, we've got all roads lead to the South. It was not an ending. It was not an event. It was a call to action. It was a gathering. And there's a series of activities that will happen throughout the summer. And I'll stop there.
And it was our generation taking the mantle from the previous generation.
The young sisters, let me tell you,
yes,
we got some of the baddest young sisters in this. When I'm thinking about Dee Linson, when I'm thinking about Brittany, when I think about, we got some bad sisters. There's some bad brothers that have been doing their work too. But I just want to shout out, since this is Win with Black Women, and DeWanna been throwing down. Y'all been throwing down.
Yes.
So I will just say that, Brittany, that's my boo.
yes, yes. And Brittany, I'm gonna come to you last, since yours is like more of a direct call to action. But I'm gonna go to April and Tamika about how we've been fighting back, and particularly in South Carolina, how we winning in this moment, and how we have a temporary win in Alabama that we're hoping can stay a win. But April, I'll start with you, and then I'll go to Tamika.
Yeah, we have been winning. We've been winning. Before I talk about how we've won in these courts and these halls, we've won because we've shown up.
Mm-hmm.
We're showing up. So that's the win, right? And I want to start there. And that win, because we've shown up, is why you see the different things happening in these states. Let's be clear. This is not the benevolence. It has never been just the benevolence of white folks in robes, right? Black robes in courts. It's not because of the benevolence of the white, even Republicans in South Carolina, who did not make that decision. It is because of the righteous prayers and the hard organizing and the work and the belief and faith of Black folks, right? And what we saw all last week is evidence of that. That in every court proceeding, every single day in Louisiana, people showed up. There wasn't a committee hearing that Black folks didn't get in cars and buses and come down to not only bear witness, because bearing witness is important, right? But also to make sure their words were being held on the record, because those records that are recorded in state halls and in federal halls become the record that judges look at eventually, and that ultimately shape how policy happens. So our people of all ages were showing up in Alabama. In Alabama, because folks showed up, that 3-panel judge of Republican justices felt the courage and the ability, even in this moment, even with the pressure, right, from DC to do something else, they ruled the way they ruled because we showed up. Right? Those Republicans in South Carolina, and my dear sister Tamika will tell you, because she was showing out, okay? Every single day in that committee hearing, she was showing out. But the point being, she wasn't alone, right? She was flanked with people who live not only in her area, but throughout the state to make their voices heard. In Tennessee, even though we didn't get the outcome that we desired to get in the chambers, the community stood up and came every single day to let them know that even if you accomplish what you think you're going to accomplish, you think you did something big or important, the folks are saying that we still are going to go to the polls and we're going to win, right? And in Mississippi, the governor was so scared he didn't even call a special session, right? He didn't even want that smoke because even when the folks, 6,500 people showed up on a Wednesday, guess what? It wasn't even a session. They weren't even meeting because they were frightened and scared about what what Black organizers and our allies, our righteous allies, was doing. So those are some wins. And I want to say before I hand it over to Sister Tamika, because again, she was clowning every day. I enjoyed it immensely. But I want to say that, we've got to understand this moment. And I also want to punctuate that even in understanding this moment, we have to understand that sometimes hardship, right, and chaos and confusion are moving us. They're moving us to victory, right? And sometimes it's hard to see that and feel that in this moment because we keep seeing as if they have all this power. But what we do know is that the journey for the Hebrew Israelites from Egypt to the shoreline was very hard. It was very difficult. But because they labored nevertheless and did not surrender, they made it to the shoreline and got to see one of the greatest miracles and display of God's power seen in all the books, all 67 books in the Bible, right? So what I'm saying to you is that just like your body increases in fever to destroy the pathogen that's making you sick, just like the caterpillar literally has to melt itself in order to become a caterpillar, just like under the earth for centuries, there is pressure that sometimes results in an earthquake, but that earthquake resets and levels the entire earth. This is that moment. So what do we have to do? We have to understand these victories, but we've got to be able to sit and anchor ourselves in the difficulty between Egypt and the shore. And if we can do that, if we can bear ourselves to get to the shoreline, what I will say to you is that the greatest supernatural display of God will deliver itself to us. That is what this moment is. That is what this moment is, generation of David, right? Because they may look at us and think that we have no power in this moment, that we pale in comparison to the power of the state and the judges. But I will tell you that this is the generation of David, that this white supremacist mountain, a giant that calls himself, is going to come down because that's our assignment. And once we bring this giant down, because we are going to do that, then the new nation that we are going to architect and our future generations are going to architect is going to be birthed. So that's what this moment is. That's why we are winning in this moment, because we are following obediently and being moved with pressure to a special place of victory.
I just knew April's gonna give us a word, Latasha. She gonna give us a whole word. And I know Brittany coming.
It's Sunday, baby. We need a word, baby. Come on.
Brittany coming up on the rear. And Tamika, so before we get to Brittany, I also want to just lift up. Tamika was doing lives every single day, keeping the folks informed. Everybody was watching the live. I came to the Senate. I was only able to come one day on a Saturday because I couldn't go during the week. And so I was in there and I was just waiting to get in. And all I hear is everybody talking, well, Senator Devine said this. And then she told us to do that. And I was just like listening. I didn't say one word. I just listened to their conversations. And I said, my sister doing the thing. And I also want to lift up Tamika, our local sisters on the ground who were doing the work. Zakia Mitchell, Michael Ubuntu Collective, Audrey Lane with the Deltas, and also Courtney Thomas, ACLU. It was a lot of sisters on the ground here locally that was helping us out. So Tamika, I'll turn it over to you to tell them how we have won here in South Carolina. And I see our South Carolina sisters in the chat.
Yes, no, absolutely. And
Good evening, sisters. It is wonderful to be with you guys. I love, love, love. And Latasha knows Latasha was done. I was texting her like, this happened, but and excuse my voice. I have been talking so much. It has been a week, but it has been an amazing week. And I just want to lift up a couple things. So for those of you who didn't follow ours, on May 4th, the president personally called members of the House and the Senate and said, hey, I want you all to redistrict. Now, South Carolina was a little bit different because our maps were challenged 2 years ago and found to be constitutional based on political gerrymandering, not racial gerrymandering. And so our colleagues had already been under oath, won the battle saying that it was not racially gerrymandered. But once they got the call from the president, then they said, oh, the Calais decision came out. We're racial gerrymandered. We have to redo these maps. So in the course of 2 weeks, maps were sent to South Carolina from DC, not drawn by anybody in South Carolina, wiping out our one majority minority district, which is held by Congressman Clyburn, and it was on a fast track. At the beginning, we were already Sunny Day was May 14th, so they had 2 weeks. It rapidly went through the House, but the Senate said we were not going to take it up. We had all 12 Democrats, and we are in the super minority. So I do want to say for the states who say, we have a super minority in both chambers. And we really thought this would happen. But to April's point, our job was to get as much on the record as possible. So when the legal challenges came, we had a good case. But mobilizing, people getting out, I have to echo those two things. The two things that got us when it came to the first vote of the Senate, we had 4 Republican senators join with the 12 Democrats to say we were not going to bring this up in Sunny Day. And so the governor brought us back after we adjourned for a special session. We adjourned on Thursday evening. He brought us back on Friday. So we worked on Friday through the weekend, the first weekend, the whole next week through the last weekend. 2 things I have to elevate that Tasha said. Number one is about being able to support the people doing work on the ground. Things were happening so quickly. We had to get out. So I was doing lives, but we also had these great organizations that were getting people out, getting the information out, mobilizing people to come to the chambers. And that was critical. Our House voted after midnight on a Monday night. It was in the Senate on Wednesday. And at that point, that hearing was packed. We had 24 hours. They gave the exact amount of time that they could notice they could under law, 24 hours. People came from all over the state because of the boots on the ground. So we've got to make sure that we are supporting our organizations who are doing the work. But they got people there. It moved through the Senate. And when we used our Senate rules to our benefit, and so we were able to delay a vote until the first day of early voting. And so the second point I want to elevate that Latasha said is about mobilizing, guys. We went out, we had the churches, we had the organizations, we had our elected officials telling people the first day of early voting is on Tuesday. We need you all to come out because that is the day of our vote. We need you to come out and come out strong. Prior to this election, our largest single day early voting was 23,000 people. On Tuesday at 11 o'clock, we gavelled in. By 11:30, 23,000 people had already voted. So they had already beat the statewide record to that point in 2.5 hours. By that end of that first day, we had 56,000 people who voted. So when we came up to the vote, they did not get a vote to cloture us. We were ready to be on the floor all night, and then finally they said, let's call the vote on just carrying over the bill, basically killing it for this session. And we had 12 Republicans. So we went from 4 Republicans the first time to 12 Republicans who voted with us. And I do want to say this, this is not the benevolence of white people. I mean, basically they were saying, they used to say the quiet stuff out loud. They're not even saying the quiet stuff out loud. They're just that bold that they don't care. They think they can say whatever. But it basically said the Black vote will be mobilized, and they knew that. But even one of the senators, one of our most conservative senators, the author of our a proposed total abortion bill that would have criminalized people, women given abortions, and people who take them to get abortions. It would criminalize that. The author of that bill actually voted against this. And when he was interviewed, he said the reason that he voted is because he saw the numbers. So, y'all, we cannot underestimate the power of our vote. If anybody tells you that their votes don't matter, this is a prime example. If we did not have that 23,000 people by 11:30, the vote would not have gone the way it was. If we haven't by now, we've had 4 days of early voting. We've had over 125,000 people vote already in early voting. And so I'm already hearing our colleagues talk about the fact that that even having the conversation has hurt our state, and they truly believe that there will be some seats that the Republicans lose in November because of the mobilization. A quarter of the people who have voted so far have never voted in a state primary before. So we are getting new people. So I would just say that the things that I would just tell you, we've got to mobilize, we got to support our grassroots organizations, and we got to stay in this fight because, and I know Congresswoman Sewell said it, the congressional redistricting was one thing because it was driven by Trump, but these legislators are seeing the way that they can do it on the state level as well. So we're fully prepared that in January they're going to come back after our seats, but we know that we got the people behind us. So I would just say, y'all, we got to keep pushing. November is going to be a huge election, but we got to be doing this year round. Mobilization needs to happen all the time, not just when we feel our rights are being threatened, but when we know that our voices will not be respected unless we show them, and we can show them better and we can tell them. And Q, that's all I have.
And just to add to that, to me, the only thing I would add is to the strategy of it all. We also have 124 Democrats running against every Republican seat in the state house. And so that also builds.
And all statewide offices. Every statewide
offices.
Even Secretary of Agriculture, that most people don't know what that even does. We got a person running.
We have Democrat candidates at every level in South Carolina. So we are excited about that. And so I'm looking forward to that also being a greater part of our strategy as well. And so thank you again, Senator Devon, for your incredible work. And now I'm going to turn it over to Brittany, who is going to tell us, my dear sister, and I know she's going to give us a word to y'all. I know it's coming. But Brittany's going to also tell us about Freedom Summer and what that is and how you can get involved and get connected and also bring this to your own community. Go ahead, Britt.
My sisters, it is such a deep honor to be with you this evening. Thank you for having me back. I'm going to try to go fast and pray that the Lord allows my signal to stay strong as we have this conversation, because my, what a time to be alive. I mean, I'm going to talk about Freedom Summer, but these women in front of us right now are why Freedom Summer is a thing. You know, I'm thinking of our queer siblings right now in ballroom culture who talk about who they were raised by, whether it's their real parents or their chosen parents. And there's an entire generation of us that have been raised by Senator Devine, that have been raised by April England Albright, that have been raised by LaTosha Brown. These are mothers, okay? I need all of us to understand that us following our marching orders are because we're following the lead of our mothers, of our grandmothers, of our elders, of our foremothers, those who are still here with us and those who have laid the footprint and gone on to glory. We understand that it is our responsibility to not let the duty past our generation. We know that it's our job to follow in the footsteps, to stand shoulder to shoulder, to get in front and protect our mothers when we need to. And now is that time. I thank you all for being patient with me being in this car, because there are two things that I did this weekend, and I'm gonna open with one and close with the other. The first thing the thing that I'm coming from right now, rather, is I'm on my way home from New York City, where I filmed the television show for PBS that'll be out this summer in July. And when they ask you to do the show, you don't know the topic, you don't know the other people, but they take you through a hypothetical situation that sounds eerily similar to ones that we might be enduring here in America. I did an episode previously on bodily autonomy, and this one was all about the elections in the shadow of America's 250th anniversary. Now, I will not spill the beans or spoil what is going to happen, but what I will tell you is that In a room of 9 panelists, there were only 2 sisters in there, myself and our friend Melissa Murray, whose book on the U.S. Constitution everybody should be purchasing and reading and sharing. And we looked at each other, that look that sisters give each other, when we know that the folks around us just do not understand what time it is. Because these were seasoned politicians, folks who have reached some of the heights of government, a seasoned, very wealthy business folks who were in the room. And these people really think that our institutions are going to hold out. These folks are really convinced that the courts are going to be able to have the say just in the nick of time, and they'll give the injunctions and deny the search warrants that allow people to go and snatch ballots. But Melissa and I knew better. And we would look at each other and think of those 2 Black women in Georgia who know that we don't have to make up election workers being threatened and intimidated because it's already happened. That we don't have to make up journalist offices being raided for telling the truth because it already happened to Ida B. Wells. We don't have to make up Black activists and people who are standing up for peace and justice and the vote, having their documents snatched from them so they couldn't even show up to vote in a voter ID state if they wanted to, because Dr. Du Bois had his passport snatched just for saying he wanted to be a person of peace. We know this country better than it knows itself. And that is exactly why it is Freedom Summer time, y'all. That is exactly why the All Roads Lead to the South Coalition can't stop, won't stop. To quote the great Latasha Brown, who you all should be watching in this documentary that I know we'll be talking about soon. Can't stop, won't stop. Montgomery, Selma, Mississippi, this was just the beginning. The lines that we've seen in Louisiana and South Carolina, this is just the beginning. All summer long, we are going to be letting this government know who really is protecting democracy. So I need you, when you get off of this call, when you step out of the Church of Win with Black Women, I need you to go to freedomsummer2026.com. That's freedomsummer2026.com. And let me tell you what you'll be able to do when you get there. First, you'll be able to sign up so that you can get updates for what's happening all summer long. Second, you'll be able to know that the next step that we're taking is on Juneteenth week of action. There will be actions in the South. There will be actions in the North, because the South got friends everywhere, and all of us ain't but a generation or 2 removed. Okay, there will be actions. Virtually to ensure that we have ongoing political education and voter education and local organizing throughout the summer. These drumbeats will continue to happen all summer long. So we'll get back together during the week of Juneteenth, and then we'll be getting back together on a calendar that you can see at that website to know that it's time to come outside. And then when you're done coming outside, you're going to log onto those mass meetings and mass mobilization calls so that you can get educated on how to fight authoritarianism, on how to make sure that we understand the voting laws that keep changing in our states, on how to get plugged in locally so that every single day we can keep this work up. If you are a part of a congregation, are a minister, or run a congregation of any faith background, there is a faith vertical right there for you. You can log right on to freedomsummer2026.com and sign your congregation up for our justice revivals that are being led by Pastor Mike and Live Free USA. These are opportunities for 10 weeks over the summer to be doing that deeply moral work of ensuring that our congregations and our people of faith are holding the line fast and that we are mobilizing people. We know we can get souls to the polls, but we need more souls to the polls. We need more people to understand why this is not just an issue of justice or politics, but that this is spiritual warfare, and it's time to put on the whole armor of God. There will be opportunities for you to sign up and partner, because just because you're not in the place where the anchor mobilization is going on doesn't mean that you don't have a part to play. During All Roads Lead to the South on May the 16th, there were over 50 satellite mobilizations all across the country, right in people's own neighborhoods, churches, synagogues, mosques, and parks. So you can sign up on that site as a partner to be able to receive more information. And the last thing that you can do is upload some of the assets and get on your social media and your family text messages and let everybody know it's freedom time, y'all. Freedom Summer is going to roll right into Freedom Fall, because we're not stopping this thing until after after the midterms are over. We'll gather after the midterms to remind everybody that voting is not the end. It is just the beginning. Think about Freedom Summer and Freedom Fall as a campaign. They're out there campaigning for their seats. We're out here campaigning for our rights. And we're going to keep showing up each and every single time that they try to tell us we don't have them. I will close with this. The other thing I did this weekend was I did what every good millennial is trying to save their coins to do this summer, and I went to see Jay-Z back on tour. Yes, that's right. I was at the Roots picnic. Jay-Z came out with his freshly detangled locks, thanks to that good old sacred that Beyonce and Mama Tina made, and he got out there and sang the songs of my life. I had the best time. But let me tell you one of the songs that he sang that I will always love. It's called You Don't Know. And I love it because there's a phrase that he repeats throughout the song every time the hook comes. And at the very end, he says it a little differently. He says, I will not lose ever.
Yes. Yes.
Ever. I am here, you are here, we are here because we decided to not lose ever. And this Freedom Summer, this Freedom Fall, this midterm election, this democracy that we've been nursing from our own chest for over 250 years, we will not lose it either. We will not lose our futures. We will not lose our families. We will not lose our democracy. We will not lose our voices just because some people want to shut us up. Because the other thing that I'm clear on coming out of this filming is that these folks who don't have any good interest for us, yeah, they're shook. Because every time they saw me and Melissa looking at each other, they started looking at each other and shaking in their boots. They know we don't lose. They know that we know how to step on a serpent's neck. They know that we know how to come outside when it's time. They know that we know how to organize in secret and in public. My mother turns 70 years old today, God bless her. And I was raised by a beautiful woman of God, Reverend Dr. Gwendolyn Deloach Packnett. And she taught me always that the devil should never, ever want it with me, that I will be his greatest threat and his biggest inconvenience. And if I don't mind boxing with the devil, I definitely don't mind boxing with the GOP. It's that type of time, y'all. We're going to let them know what time it is all summer long, all fall, and we're going to keep coming outside. We're going to keep getting educated. We're going to keep lifting up local infrastructure and investing right where we are. And we're going to make sure that the midterms is the easiest thing that they ever go through when we beat them then too. All right. FreedomSummer2026.com, period.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Nothing else to say. No crumbs left on that. Thank you, Sister Brittany. But before Latasha goes, Latasha, Brittany teased it out. Congratulations to you on your documentary. So tell us about like how the sisters can watch that.
I know we got time, so we'll be short. Listen, y'all, this is the moment that we have been in worse circumstances. At the beginning of 2020, we were in the middle of a global pandemic. We did not know how we were going to organize, and we did it. And we were able to defeat Trump and that administration in that election cycle because Black folks came out and showed out. We can do it again. We have shown they are not invincible. No matter what they want to believe, they are not invincible, right? And so because of that, we're doing our film and our doc tomorrow. Darisha Kai did a documentary that was featuring our work in 2020. There are lessons in this around specifically how do we organize in this moment when you have difficult circumstances. It is airing tomorrow on the Joy Reid. We're on Black platforms. We don't need PBS and ABC and CNN when we got Joy Reid and Roland Martin and Black platforms that we're going to support our own because we got us. So tomorrow at 6:30, our film, the documentary film that features some of the work, the organizing work of Black Voters Matter that we think will be helpful, will be airing on Joy Reid YouTube channel. And at 8 p.m., it will be airing on the Roland Martin Unfiltered on his YouTube channel as well. Please, you can go to our website. Please join us tomorrow at 6 on Joy Reid YouTube channel, and Roland is called Love, Joy, and Power. We believe that, y'all, from our heart, that we're going to win this with love, with some joy, and with some power. All right.
Amen. And you're going to drop the links in the chat.
We're going to drop the links. See y'all on the battlefield. Let's go.
We'll see y'all soon. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much. And ladies, sisters, this is the end of my segment. I'm going to turn it over to my Feelers co-host, Holly Holiday, and I will let her take it away from here. Take it away, twin.
All right, well, you done left us on some high energy, and I'm gonna keep that rolling, keep it rolling. It is my honor. We're gonna get right to it because I'm bringing back somebody y'all already know and love. Many of y'all know her as the bishop for the House of Lords Church. Many of y'all may also have seen her be a part of the Black Women's Leadership Collective or Power Rising or the many, let me say, she just came off service to us as part of the Democratic National Committee. But today, we're going to introduce her as the founder of the Black Lady News. Y'all don't know who I'm talking about by now? Come on, Sister Bishop Leah Daughtry. Come on now. We are so excited about Black Lady News.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good to
We
see
out
you,
here,
Holly.
we out here, we outside. Listen,
Yeah.
Bishop Daughtry, we got to know. You could literally be doing anything right now. Why is now the time for you to have created Black Lady News?
Well, thank you, Holly, and for all of our sisters who are gathered this evening. It's good to be with you again. You know, I created Black Lady News out of my own need and out of my own desire. As you might imagine, I'm a news hound when it's not sending my blood pressure up. And so, you know, there's all this news swirling out there. But I wanted to know, as I read these stories, what does it mean for Black ladies? What does it mean for Black women? How do I understand the day's news through the lens of my existence and my experience as a Black woman? But beyond the headlines, what are the things they're not telling us? What are the stories that we're not hearing about? Who are the Black women that we don't know about? And what are the stories we should be watching? What's not being reported that we need to keep an eye on? And so I created this little newsletter called Black Lady News, which dives into those specific things.
Well, you already know everybody wants to be a part of it, so we're going to get to that. But it's now been, what, 3 or 4 weeks since its launch, which I read it religiously every week. I'm signed up. I'm ready to go. I share it. I do all the things. I love the Instagram's carousel and the full body that comes to my email. So I want it all. And I know that the other ladies do too. But I have to ask, it's been so much to talk about. What do you think? Can you give us maybe a little preview for what's happening on Monday? What are some things that are catching your attention for Monday?
Well, one of the things, so Black Lady News comes out every Friday morning, and you can read it. You can get the carousels and the highlights on our Instagram or our Facebook account, or you can sign up to get the whole newsletter with all the details in your inbox delivered Friday morning at 7 a.m. And so one of the stories we're following now, we're keeping our eye on for the coming week, the coming issue, is, you know, the AFL-CIO convention is coming. It is starts June 7th. But did you know there are 3 Black international presidents who are Black women? And so we're going to be highlighting them. Roxanne Brown, who's the president, y'all, of the Steelworkers. The first Black person to be elected president, international president of the Steelworkers. Of course, April Barrett, she's returning to the AFL-CIO with SEIU, Cleola Brown. So that's one of the stories that the media is not going to cover, that we need to know to lift our sisters up, that there are now 3 international presidents, not including, of course, Becky Pringle, who leads the largest union in the country, the National Education Association. So we're talking about that this week. We're also got to look ahead to the numbers. I used to work at the Labor Department, and the first Friday of every month is called Numbers Day. That's the day that the unemployment numbers come out. And they love to tell us, oh, unemployment is 3%, but what is it for Black women? What does it mean for Black women? How do we understand that number that they glossing over? Because the news reports do not tell us the unemployment rate for Black women. We're going to talk about that. So you'll see these are the kinds of stories that we're talking about. We just finished, as Holly referenced, a whole week, 3 whole days, it felt like a week, of work at the Democratic National Committee, Rules and Bylaws Committee. You know what we were talking about? The presidential primary calendar for 2028. Yes, 2028. What states go first? What states go last? That's not something we pay attention to, but it's important because who goes first, second, third? impacts who will be the eventual nominee. And so we're in a battle to make sure that Black folks have a voice in the early process, not at the tail end, but in the beginning. What does that mean? What does it look like? What were the conversations that were had? These are the things that Black Lady News covers. And so we're excited about it. This past week, we did a feature on Nana Jomfrey and Black Alliance for Just Immigration, because Trump put out that thing that said that the people with the green cards going to have to reapply for their green card from their own country. That seems like, and we have been so misinformed and so misled. We think they're talking about the Mexicans and the Venezuelans and the Colombians, but I want you to think about the nurses, the domestic workers, the teachers, who are Nigerian, who are Caribbean. What happens when those doctors, when those nurses, when those domestic workers have to leave the country? What happens in the breakdown of our communities? What happens in the breakdown of our health care? What happens in the breakdown of our public schools? The media is not going to talk about that, but Black Lady News will.
Not only will you give us the information, break down the people that we need to be paying attention to, because ain't nobody else covering them, but you also kind of challenge us to do some stuff. What was our challenge this week?
Well, our challenge this week was to pay attention to what's happening post-Calais, because, we get fatigued really easy. And the news is so, it just keeps coming and keeps coming. Every week, we publish a Calais tracker that covers all of the states, so up to the minute what's happening in every single voting rights state, including some that are not necessarily, we don't think about as voting rights state, like Missouri, but that is impacting us, or that is experiencing the post-Calais effect. And so we ask you to pay attention, to call folks, to do things like sign up for Freedom Summer, to do things like this week we actually do something fun like read Tahari new book, Kin, because it can't all be business. You need a little rest. So all of these things, we try to cover the totality of a Black woman's life, the stories you need to know, the people you need to know, and the actions you need to take for the week. So I hope you'll sign up. You can follow
us. We got to tell them how to sign up now.
Yes, you can go on Instagram or Facebook and follow us at Black Lady News. Black Lady News, and that will give you the highlights. That's going to give you the carousel reels that you can share, that you can copy, that you can send to a friend. Say, look at this number. Look at these things. 56,207 Black women, Black folks that voted in South Carolina. We're going to give you the short and snappy in the carousel reels. But if you want the whole newsletter, then go to Black Lady Info, blackladynews.info, blackladynews.info, and sign up for the mailing list. And every Friday at 7 a.m., as Holly will tell you, you'll get the whole newsletter that includes the headline, the profile for the week, the 5 things to pay attention to this week, what's the win for the week, and what's the watch for the week.
I love all of it. Listen, it's already in the chat. Our sister girls have got it going on. And listen, there are more than 1,500 people watching us right now between the chat and the YouTube. So you already know what we need to do. I need everybody to take out your phone, go to your Instagram account, go to Black Lady News. I need you to go take out your phones, or if you're on your devices, and go to blackladynews.info right now and sign up. I expect Bishop to have all of us following us. And then when you get through signing up, we're going to take an extra step. I want you to send it to your good girlfriend. I want you to make sure that it ain't just you, that we are spending. Look at this. Done. Subscribe. Already did it. Oh, yes. Come on. I want you to send it to your good girlfriend. I want you to say, the call has been made, and we now have a source that is divine and decided and depicting us, and making sure that every week we have a distilled way to know what we need to be paying attention to now. So let's go. I see y'all in the chat. I appreciate y'all so much. Do not forget, subscribe and then share. Subscribe and share.
I want to say one last thing, Holly. I take tips. Once you sign up
Ooh.
for the newsletter, you can respond and say, hey, this is coming. Did you know about this? What about this? And I take tips.
Come
And
on
you may
now.
see your tip
All
featured
right.
in Black Lady News one week.
Listen, it takes a village, and it takes a
Yes.
village of Black women to
Because
make it
y'all be
happen.
knowing stuff happening on the ground. So, you
They
know.
be knowing. Well, listen, don't go nowhere just for a second because I'm going to bring Karen up because you're a part of this too. We are just getting started with 1 million Black voters rising. So I got to bring my co-chair up, Karen Finney. Hey, now what you know is that Bishop is the convener for the Black Women's Leadership Collective, and she has empowered Karen, and Karen let me come and hang out with her too, to be doing the 1 million Black voters rising. So I wanted to publicly thank you, Bishop, for trusting us, and I wanted to give both of you an opportunity to tell us why it's important and what we're here for.
Oh, okay. Well, look, ladies, even before the Calais decision, going back to last year, right? We've been seeing all these stories about, other groups and their voting power. And I felt it was important that we remind ourselves that our power as voters is untapped. It is also under-resourced and it has been underappreciated. And so we came up with this crazy idea. Hey, let's register 1 million new Black voters. And, at first they looked at me like I was a little crazy, but then but then we started talking about how to do this, because when you look at the numbers, there are millions of Black Americans all across this country who are eligible to vote, but they don't vote and they're not registered. And let me tell you something. We are the difference makers in so many elections. And if you look at what's been happening in these primaries, the numbers by which some of these folks have been winning we're talking 20,000 people. We're talking 5,000. So you can't tell me our votes don't matter. The other thing that's been happening post-Calais that I want to flag, Black people have been coming out in record numbers in Georgia, in Louisiana. We couldn't vote in that Republican primary, but we sure defeated those 5 initiatives that crazy governor was trying to pass.
Yes, we did.
So when we come out and we vote, we can shape what the outcomes of elections, and that is so critical. And obviously, post-Calais, this mission to register 1 million new Black voters became even more critical because, look, there is a conversation to be had, and you heard a lot of it earlier. Yes, this is in our bones. This is in our history. This is, our parents, our grandparents, they have fought for us to be here, knowing they would not, some of them wouldn't even see this. They have a vision, knowing they may not see it. We have a vision, knowing there's parts of this we're not going to get to see. We've taken the torch. We're moving it forward. We're going forward with our part of this battle. But what I also want our people to understand is this is about how we build power. Because when we vote, we get to elect people. And remember, when we're talking about redistricting, it's not just Congress. It's too much talk about what's going on in Washington, I'll tell you. It's about school boards. It's about who's on your city council. It's about who's in your state legislature. It's about people who run for county sheriff and judges races. And those folks make decisions that affect our lives very directly. Mm-hmm. So we've got to be paying attention. I know this is a theme you've been hearing all night. We got to be paying attention, but we have to vote, because when we vote, we can impact the outcome of elections, and we can make the impact to bring resources to our communities, to hold people accountable when they don't do like they're supposed to do, or like they told us they were going to do. Yeah, so 1 million Black voters rising is about registering people to vote, but it's about engaging in a conversation about how we build Black political power and why it matters. So we've got great tools on the site. We got more to come to make it easy to register. It's a beautiful site. We're trying to make it fun and easy and no judgment about, we don't want no guilt trips. We just want you to, because we all know somebody who, says they vote, but we know they maybe aren't even registered. That's all right. So we try to make it easy and try
Yeah.
to lower that barrier to entry, and to give you resources to learn about what elections are going on in your state. If you're following your Black Lady News, you're finding out about what's going on with Calais. See, it all works together. There's a method to our madness.
There's a method to the madness, okay?
And then Holly's going to talk about, so if you just say, you know what, I'm going to go there, I'm going to check my registration, and I'm going to sign up to get regular updates, that's fine. No judgment. But what we really want you to do is to agree to be a circle leader, and you register 10 people. And we use the power of our networks, the power of the conversations that we have every day in our chat groups, at the water cooler, where, you know, when we're having coffee with our friends, or when we're getting our hair or our nails done.
Yeah.
We want us to engage our networks, because this Black Women's Leadership Collective, the 12 organizations, we reach 20 million Black women.
Listen,
okay?
Listen,
You can't
that's
tell
why I
me
want to.
that's power at scale, y'all. That is power at scale.
Yes, and this is why I want to bring Bishop back, just to say a few words about the collective. Because where do you see this? Where you have organizations that are literally more than 100 years old, working with organizations that are 5 years old, and all the things in between, trying to reach out, including Win with Black Women, right? Trying to reach literally every segment of our community. Can you just give us a little bit about the importance of why it's important, not only to do the program, as Karen's talked about, but why it's important for Black women to have leadership and to lead collectively?
You know, thank you, Holly. And it's a really important point, because our society creates these narratives about Black women. And we see them in all the reality television. We see them in the way news is reported on about Black women, that we are always, you know, this angry Black women trope with our hand on our hips, and we don't like each other, and we're fighting and fussing with each other and throwing wine bottles across the table. Can't take us nowhere. All of these sorts of things. And so it's actually when Ketanji Brown Jackson was nominated that we decided we were going to break that narrative to ensure that her confirmation was successful. So we came together, all of the national Black women's organizations, the sororities, the links, Win with Black Women, Higher Heights, Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, Black Women's Roundtable, Power Rising, all of us came together and said, what can we do to work together in all of our different areas, because each of us reaches a specific set of people. Of course, there's overlap, but all of us together, what can we do to move the needle? And so we went to work for Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation, reaching college professors, calling senators, leveraging all of our memberships to make sure that her confirmation was successful. And once we did that, we decided we need to stay together, because there's so much that we can do as a collective. And that is how the Black Women's Leadership Collective was born. And we still meet all these years later, every Monday morning I'm not going to tell you what time, every Monday morning, we get together, the presidents of the organizations and a few good friends like Donna Brazil and Rachel Nordling and Mignon Moore and Karen Finney. We come together and say, okay, what's going on? What's happening in our world? Where do we need to collaborate? Where do we need to coordinate? What are you doing that I just need to know about? I can't help you because it may be C4 or C3 or C7, or that's your sorority business, but I need to know so I can amplify, and so that I'm not working at cross purposes with you. And then we have projects that we do together, like this 1 Million Black Voters Rising. We're trying to break the narrative.
Absolutely.
We're trying to write a new story about how Black women work together. This whole society is set up for us to be in competition with each other. It's set up for us to compete with each other around resources, around attention, around airtime. It's set up to make us compete with each other as though the pie is so small. You know, this philanthropic dollars, for example, there's a pie and they got 1/4 of the pie for Black folk. And so they make us compete with each other. And we decided we're not going to do that anymore.
We're not
We are
doing that
going to
anymore.
break the narrative, create a new narrative about how we're working together. And 1 million Black Voters Rising is a signature project for us. We are all working on it.
We are
All of us
all
are registering
working on
voters.
it.
All of us are working on
Absolutely.
registering voters, and we are bringing the numbers together. And our goal is, and we know we can meet it, based on who we represent, based on where we have folks on college campuses to the senior citizens home. We can
That's
reach
right.
Black women everywhere. We can reach Black people. And if you can reach Black women, you can reach Black people.
There it
All
is.
Black
There it
people.
is. There it
And so
is.
we know we
There
can
it
reach
is.
1 million voters, and we know that we need your help, and we invite you to be part of this movement.
And all I'm going to do is spend the last 30 seconds saying, we need you to sign up.
Yes.
We invite you to be a part of this movement. We invite you to invite your good girlfriends who understand how important this is to be a part of it. And training is already underway. We're not going to leave you out here alone. The next training session will be Saturday, June 6th. We are already in our phase 3 kickoff, and I already know y'all are like, but we missed phase 1. It's okay. Trainings are available on demand. We will have 4 trainings in June. You can sign up for it. The link is always the same. We are going to teach each other, grow together, and be, as Karen shared, in conversation with our community so that we can be in community with our community. And you'll see more of this later. It's going to also be in the announcements. Let's get all the hearts, the thumbs up, the rocket ships, and all the other things to know that the Black Lady News has done told us what to do. And the Black Women's Leadership Collective, which includes all of you, is about to register these Black people in America. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you, Bishop Leah. I'm going to turn it over to my good girlfriend, you know, one of the triplets. We done named ourselves now, Chantel Mullen, to take us home and help get the AI piece on and then close us out.
Nice.
Chantel, I turn it to you, sis.
Hello. Uh-oh, Karen.
I was just going to say, hey, y'all. Also, this will be part of Freedom Summer 2026. So if you missed the
Absolutely.
date for training or you want to get involved, keep an eye out because this will be part of the Freedom Summer 2026 programming. And you know it because Holly and I are involved in it too. So we'll make sure.
It's all the same. We work together on all the things. All right, Chantel, it's to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, you know, Holly was wrapping up that 1 million Black voters. It's important that you stay engaged. I am one of your trainers. So come on, because we have a lot of information that we want you to know about and help share because we've got some research-based tips to help you register these voters. But we're going to turn it around and we are going to talk about another power up topic. You know, we've had some sisters who have been out here getting training. Win with Black Women has launched a 7-part series called Power Up. It's a series of online deep dive sessions led by experts in critical topics. And these are to help equip our network with skills for what is coming next. Our first session was on AI and it was quite successful. We had over 200 Win with Black Women sisters hop on the call and they learned some new skills and some learning. We want to give a special shout out to our sisters, Allie Siegel and Leah McGowan Hare, who led those trainings. And we're going to talk about what happened in that training. And before I got a couple of sisters who went through it. And before we get there, we have a short video to share. And I believe Holly Weeks is going to cue that up for us. There we go.
Awesome. Well, just from that poll, we can see that sometimes we can feel, something is AI is something like futuristic, but the reality is it's not coming, it's already here. The reality is AI, we're part of it every day. It's reshaping the way we work, the way we learn and create. I mean, as a developer, initially as a developer, this past Friday, I spent my day with a couple of our customers talking about how it's completely disrupting the development world. And it's fascinating because no longer are the only people building are humans, there's also agents building. So it is changing everything. And you can see it in the headlines everywhere, from AI agents becoming co-workers. Absolutely. They are not your competitors, they are your collaborators, and to entirely new jobs being created. I work in a space called forward deployed engineering. That job did not exist a couple of years ago. To employers actively looking for AI skills and paying premiums for them. And speaking of the jobs that don't exist, I mean, if you think about the internet back in 1993, when remember you had to dial up and like, and you had to get online, and some of y'all might be too young to remember that. But back then, nobody thought about a role called web developer or SEO engineer. Like, all the jobs were birthed from that technology. So this moment reminds me of those early days. And the people who learn how to adopt early create opportunities, not just for themselves, but for others. And that's really.
All right, all right. If you missed that training, I'm going to find out. I saw in the chat if the recording is available. I'll ask and see. And if so, we'll send it. We'll update you with when we send out our weekly updates, if that is available. But right now, I want to bring up two sisters who participated in that training. We have our good sister, Gina Wood. Gina, welcome, welcome, welcome. And you know what? I'm really happy about this particular lady. She is a Win with Black Women OG, Sister Beulah. Sister Beulah. Let's see if we can. Okay, Sister Beulah.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. You got to center your camera on you.
It was here and now it's gone. So that's one thing about the internet. I mean, well, not the internet, but the operator.
Okay. All right. Well, we can see you now. We can see you. Welcome, Sister Beulah.
Well, I don't need to be talking about no AI if I can't get the camera on my phone.
Thank you. So I'm going to start with Sister Gina. Why does mastering AI, why does it matter right now for Black women? Because you participated, and then tell us how you enjoyed that session. Or did you?
I did. And first, let me just say thank you for this opportunity to provide and share some feedback from the workshop, but I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I really found the experience both practical and inspiring. And I really left feeling energized about the opportunities that AI presents. I think that's the thing that I felt I certainly learned more than what I knew going into the session. So there were some key takeaways that I can share as well.
Okay. Well, what about you, Sister Beulah? Why is it important? And, how did you enjoy the session?
I think it's important because everything is going that way. From a biblical standpoint, our world is getting smaller, and the information is going to be more centralized. And so, if we don't take advantage of the opportunities to learn the artificial intelligence, although artificial intelligence has been around forever today because the military used it, that we are going to be left out on the outside of the jobs, on the outside of experiences. Because I said my grandson knows more about this than I do. We've got to get into the race because everything is going to be generated by that. I went to a workshop this past week, and they were talking about the negative side of AI. Telling us to be mindful of our handprints, our fingerprints, things that we use those parts of our body for knowledge, to gain access, share information. I said, oh my goodness. Then I'm going to have to walk around with gloves on and the palm of my hands down.
Okay.
So I think it's important that we understand the, the good parts of it as well as what can be said, because
Okay.
that's frightening whenever you think about trying to hold your hand in some particular way that the AI wouldn't be able to pick it up. And I don't know, I say it to about my mantra is action is now. And throughout this whole past week, each time I've gotten on a webinar dealing with Mobilizer, if you are familiar with that, or with a political groups, they have used that saying, action is now.
Okay.
So I said it out loud, but so the AI's done picked it up. So we've got to be mindful of even what we say with our around with our phones and so on and so forth, because AI is going to take it and run with it.
Okay. Well,
Without even
that's a great reminder. That is a great reminder. Um, since both of you were able to take part in this training, what is one thing that a sister can do this week to get ahead? What can we do? Because, it's a lot happening fast. So how do we keep up?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's really about taking the time to learn and be and think about in the context of being curious, because there's a lot to understand. AI is already here. It's not something that's going to happen in the future. It's already influencing how we work, how we learn, how we communicate, even how we lead. And I was really excited about the presenters, because one of the statements that they talked about was, or the comment that was made, is that AI will not replace humans, but humans who use AI effectively may replace those who don't. And so I think it's important for us to think about the importance of that in terms of the future, but also some of the things that I think was reinforced is that the adaptability, the continuous learning, and really embracing the change rather than resisting it. So I think, as I think Sister Beulah said, is like, get involved, go to sessions, it's everyone's still learning a lot about it. But to me, that was the thing that I took away, was that, those are the kinds of things that we need to be focused on, is really trying to educate ourselves, because it's a powerful tool. It can have some really positive impacts for us and for our community.
Okay. Sister Beulah, the same question. What's one thing sisters can do this week to get ahead?
Well, one of the things is that I believe that I don't know if anybody's been looking at this, or it's because I've been talking about it that it keeps on coming up on my phone, and they show people applying for jobs. They have the background, but whenever they're in the conference room, one of the messages is they're in the conference room, and this person has 10 years experience, and Joe Blow citizen over here, he just graduated from college. And the boss asked him, asked the person with 10 years, how long will it take you to get the system up? And he said 3 days. And then he asked the young whippersnapper, how long will it take them to get? And he said, about 4 hours. So that is enough for us to, if we intend to keep our jobs, that we're going to have to be open to doing this very thing, learning about AI. We're now in the not the Twilight Zone. Well, for some people it might be the Twilight Zone, but we're in Star Trek. That we got to have a willingness to jump on in here, because we went look at the evolution of the computer and how it has gone from having a big room for IBM to now having all the information on a little stick. So AI, we're going to have to move with AI whether we want to or not. Let me put it that way, because the technology is not going to stand still, nor our potential employers or our current employers. Whenever he or she says that we need to do this faster, we need to do it better, because if not, this company over here may come in and swoop up your job, our company, and so I'm beginning to see the importance of knowing this, because I had not put that Siri and all them were AI generated things, and they are.
Okay. Okay.
Chantel,
Well,
if I could just add to that, you know, one of a powerful message that came across from the presenters was don't just sit at the table, but create the table. And I think that's what AI will allow us to do. And so for me, I was challenged to think beyond just a consumer as in terms of technology, but also we have an opportunity to become builders, contributors, and leaders who can help shape how AI is used both in our organizations and in our communities. So I really appreciated the focus on AI for all and the importance of closing those opportunity gaps.
thank you. And you know what, Sister Gina, that's a great place to land because we shouldn't just be thinking about being consumers, but also being leaders and creators in this space. We thank both of you sisters for participating in our first Power Up series. Sisters, there will be more to come. So if you are not signed up and you are not getting the Win with Black Women emails as these series come out, we will start to share those opportunities with you, and we would love for you to participate. And with that, you know, we've got another set of sisters because, you know, we were talking about AI and we were talking about leading. And so I'm going to be joined tonight because we have another new segment. We're going to talk, let's talk business. And so we're launching another new segment. We're going to be highlighting some Black women businesses because we need to know in these times who and how we can support each other. So it's time to support some Black women in business. So our first ladies tonight, we have Sister Meredith Benson, who is the Chief Operating Officer, and our good sister Kaylin Joseph, who is the founder and CEO of Glamour Bay. Welcome, ladies, to the Win with Black Women stage. We are so happy to have you here. And tell us, what is Glamour Bay?
Yes, so I'm super excited to be with you guys tonight. Thank you so much. I'm joined by Meredith, and we're extremely excited to be here. So, Glamour Bay is an AI-powered on-demand beauty app, which means you can get your skincare, your hair care, your makeup all delivered to you same day from our app. Yes, I know, right? It's really exciting. So how I thought about the idea is I was a singer, so I was opening up for Mary J. Blige and Jasmine Sullivan, and I was extremely busy, but my image was everything. But every time I walked into an Ulta or a Sephora, I was extremely overwhelmed. Hundreds of brands, thousands of products, and zero guidance of what actually worked for me. After speaking with several women, I realized they had the same problem. So I thought to myself, why isn't there one app where you can shop, you can book stylists, and you can buy all things beauty? I didn't find it, so I decided to create it. So that is the Glamour Bay app.
Okay. And I heard you say AI. So, you know, we just came from our AI discussion. And so this is an example of using AI to create it, not just being a consumer of it, but actually building something. So talk about how you integrated AI or how that came about for you. Because there's some sisters out here who are thinking about building something, and I see somebody in the app just saying your service is top tier. Come on, look at that already. Go ahead.
So on our app, you take a short AI quiz in the beginning, and then you're able to, our app recommends products based on your skin tone, your concerns, and your habits. So our AI beauty best friend, that's what we call it, is able to recommend products and help you whether you have alopecia or dark circles or pimples or even what shampoo is best for your hair type.
Okay. Sister Meredith,
Yeah.
no, talk about how you're running this. How's it going and how can we support you guys?
Yes, it's going tremendous. We're in beta right now, so we're very excited about that. We have over 275,000 women on our waiting list. So folks are ready for us to bring things forward with this beautiful idea that Kaylin has had. And the beauty about Glamour Bay is that it's beauty on your terms, and whether that's a full glamour like Kaylin needed when she was getting on stage, or if you are light and effortless, or if you want a fresh face glow, we have the products for you to achieve that. And the best part is you get to change that. One day you might want to be glam, one day you might want to be fresh face, right? So that is the power of AI. That's the power of this platform. And so we're launching first in Raleigh and then followed by Charlotte. And then we're going to Atlanta, Houston, Detroit, and then building a strong foundation before we execute our national rollout and come into a city near you. We have a fantastic last mile delivery partner called Wave, and they are the official ride share for the Charlotte Hornets and for the Panthers, as well as Duke University. And so we're excited because they're already in the markets that we're going. So we're excited about that. I'm a sports strategist by nature and by training. And so, of course, I had to create a sports vertical, right? And so we create the sport vertical with purpose and to support professional women athletes who are always on the move. So, they go to a press conference, so they're stepping out on the field because nowadays, basketball players are wearing a full face of makeup on the court, right? But they might have forgot their favorite lip gloss or their favorite mascara. And so Glamour Bay is there to do that. And we're excited. We are in talks to have a partnership with the Atlanta Dream, which is amazing. Michael Jordan's race team 23XI. I'm looking to partner with NASCAR as well to help them celebrate and amplify their women fan base, as well as keeping our eye on other major league sports like soccer and women's hockey and flag football, which is huge right now. And just want to build on that excellence and then be there for those professional athletes. And if that wasn't enough, yes. And if that wasn't enough, we also have the HBCU vending machines. And so I attended the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, and I know firsthand how being on a desert, a beauty supply desert, it can be on a college campus, or you just can't get off campus, right? So we have vending machines that allow us to serve our customers there, right? So whether they want braiding hair or hair gel, got to be glue, whatever it is, and some stuff for the guys too. So they want, beard stuff or beard wash. We have those things inside the vending machines. And, our desire is not to just create consumers, but we want to be woven into the fabric of the university. So we're going to be working with the schools of business to teach them about marketing and supply chain operations, all of those different things, because we're not just trying to sell, but we really want to help educate the next level, of entrepreneurs.
So
and
we
the
were,
thing that's, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead. No, I was just saying, I didn't even get to talk about the brands that we have partnered. So we are able to partner with some amazing brands. We've been able to partner with Fenty and Starface on the app. We have inventory from Maybelline, Garnier, Mael. We have REM by Ariana Grande, House Labs. So we have over 25 brands on the app as well.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. Now, the sisters have all been in the chat asking, how do they find the app? How do they get on the waiting list? Come on, what's the tea now?
So first, before we get into that, I want to educate you a little bit. And the truth is that this, what I'm about to say is going to stop us in our tracks. Black women receive less than 1% of venture capital funding allocated in the United States every year, despite us being the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs in the country. And so companies led by Black women account for just 3 to 5% of total annual VC dollars. That's not a statistic. That's a call to action. And so that's why we're here tonight. We want you to be part of our journey, part of what we're doing. And so tonight, we have an amazing offer for you ladies.
Okay.
Tonight, we're extending an exclusive opportunity. We're calling the Win with Black Women deal. And here's what you'll receive. A curated box that Kaylin's going to hold up for Glamour Bay and Win with Black Women. It's going to have the Win with Black Women label on it. It's going to be a branded box featuring premier partner items. So Fenty, Starface, RMS, right? You'll be able to get that. It's going to ship to you in September. Also, you're going to get a VIP Lux Bay monthly membership. So we have different tiers of membership. You're going to get the VIP child. You're going to get all the things. So that's going to give you 5 full years of exclusive access to launch events, discounts, product drop, surprise gifts, all the things. And then you're going to get a one-time wig or hair extension replacement. You might need that, right? And so all of those things are benefits of this deal tonight. That deal is valued at over $250. And the ladies that are on here tonight get it for $35.
Okay. All right.
So that's a lot of value for a little bit of money to help support the launch of Glamour Bay to bring it to a city near you.
Yes. We put the link in the chat. I believe, hold on, I will add it one more time.
You can click on the link. The deal is there. You can go to glamourbay.com. You can find us on Instagram, Glamour Bay US, and all the things. We would love to have you be part of our journey. And my college motto was find a way or make one. And so tonight is part of that. We are finding a way, we're making one, and we want to be there to support all of the women in all of the different parts of legislators, lawyers, strategists, sister leaders who are doing this work. This is a way for us to give back to you as well as help us as we launch. And so we're really excited about that. So however you serve, in whatever capacity you serve, we're here to support you. And we just thank you for keeping freedom alive, for protecting our freedom, and for doing the work that sometimes doesn't get done. And we're just grateful. And that's why we're here tonight.
So I saw a question. It's one time $35. It's not a monthly $35. It's a one-time fee of $35, and you get a box full of goodies from our partners as a thank you for believing in us and helping us get to the next level.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Well, we appreciate you. That's interesting. So because girl, I love makeup. So I'm gonna just say hair and makeup, I absolutely love it. So y'all had me at hello. But we thank you for joining us, and can't wait to hear more about what's gonna be happening with y'all in the future. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies, you know what time it is now? It is announcement time. And so I have just a few announcements for everyone. So let me grab my screen. All righty. So here are our announcements for tonight. We're already in the next quarter. Today was our first call. Our next call is going to be happening on June the 7th. As always, bring a friend. We have the Win with Black Women QR code. We also have our standing bit.ly link. You can use that to sign up. Just a reminder, NCNW National Convention, save the date. It's happening October 21st through the 25th in Atlanta, Georgia. You don't want to miss it. This is one of our great Win with Black Women support organizations, a member of the Black Women's Leadership Collective. So if you can join, and then if you really can, go to Atlanta, Hotlanta, and take place in that national convention. They're going to have lots of great advice and information for our sisters. Just a reminder, the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation has internship programs. The deadline is June the 26th. Some of them have already passed in May, but there are still 3 opportunities that are available, and more that are coming online over at the CBC Foundation. So take a look at those. There is a student that you know who needs this opportunity. Just a reminder, our good sister Spice, she is doing her wonderful, soulful, colorful retreat. It is going to take place on June the 20th. And it is at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. You can sign up by going to pajamaparty.com or using the QR code. Just a reminder, our Federal Workers Initiative, that is happening on Thursday, June the 4th at 7 p.m. That is hosted by our good sister, Jennifer Jones, and she is holding down this space for our federal workers who are transitioning, changing, just need a sister to support. Just a reminder, our good sister organization, Higher Heights, another member of the Black Women's Leadership Collective, on Sundays, they have a virtual brunch where they have sisters who come and talk about all different aspects of politics. It happens from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And you know what? I went and found all the dates for the year. Put this on your calendar. It is happening. There's the link. You can go there and you can sign up for all of their virtual Sunday brunches. They had one today. They will have one next Sunday and the Sunday after that. Support our good sisters over at Higher Heights. The Black Women's Leadership Collective, North Carolina, they are having their organizing calls. This is going to take place on June the 2nd at 7 p.m. If you are in North Carolina, if you know a sister in North Carolina, sign up at the bit.ly link so you can join the call and help those sisters organize in North Carolina. You heard our good sister Latasha, our good sister Brittany Packnett Cunningham talk about Freedom Summer. You can go here to the blackpowerwarroom.com/Freedom Summer, and you can find out about all of the Freedom Summer activities that will be happening starting Juneteenth weekend to Election Day. It is up to us. Nobody's going to organize for us. We got to organize us because, we are the founders of the new one. If we want something new, we're going to have to build it. So join Freedom Summer, sign up. They have a newsletter. Make sure you are in the loop getting the information because the revolution will not be televised. But you might want to get on the link so you can get an invite to the meeting. Our good sisters, who is also a member of the Black Women Leadership Collective, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Advocate for Social Justice Initiative. We have our chapter that is Xi Zeta Omega, Rho Mu Omega, Xi Omega, Alpha Beta Upsilon Omega. All of these chapters are coming together. They are doing a congressional delegate candidate fair on June the 3rd, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can register. It is in person at the Sojourner Truth Public Charter School in Washington, D.C. This event is open to the public. You have the registration link. Come out. These sisters have put together information about the candidates. Also, DC is rolling out ranked choice voting. And so they are going to be talking about ranked choice voting and some voting resources. Our sisters are in partnership. They are having a community conversation, and they want to make sure that our sisters and the community is informed about what's happening with the upcoming elections. You heard Sister Holly talk about it earlier. If you want to participate in 1 million Black Voters Rising, we still need circle leaders. So you can sign up at 1 million Black Voters Rising, sign up, become a circle leader. We are also going to be training these circle leaders. So we have all of the dates for the circle leader trainings that are in June. We've got June 6th, June 9th, June 20th, and June 23rd, because we want you to have the best research and the best strategies that can help you as you go out to maintain and hold your circle through 2028. Because this is a long-term commitment, y'all. What's happening in the states? Our state networks, we're having our monthly all-state leaders meeting. That happens every second Monday at 8 p.m. The next one is upcoming on June the 8th. But I have the dates for the rest of the year and the link so you can join. So if you are joining that, Those are the dates that the state leaders will be meeting. Our states are having their meetings. Texas will be meeting June 15th, Arizona, June 17th, Washington State, June 10th. DC will be meeting June 2nd and June 16th. Pennsylvania will be meeting June 10th. California, their state leads will be meeting on June the 1st. North Carolina will be meeting on June the 14th. Florida will be meeting on June the 1st. And South Carolina will be meeting on June the 2nd. Arizona Win with Black Women on June the 17th. They are going to be talking about Black women in tech, community, equity, and justice. And so you can join them June 17th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And they'll have a few other special guests with them giving legislative updates and highlights of the current 26-27 budget and how redistricting in Arizona is going and information that sisters need to know about that. Win with Black Women Florida will be meeting June the 1st at 8:30 p.m. They're going to have a special guest, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. Just a reminder, if you know a Black woman candidate who is running for office, make sure she signs up. Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote is tracking and researching our sisters who are running for office. We want to also amplify their leadership and give them some visibility for their election cycle. So use that QR code or that link. Send that to a sister who is running for office. Also, if you are a sister and you have a job or other opportunity, send that to Jewel Love's attention, info@winwithblackwomen.org. Make sure you send that to her each week, Thursday by 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so she can get those opportunities in the weekly email that goes out to our sisters. Also, if you have a Black woman-led or centered event that you would like announced on the Sunday call, you can also send that to info@winwithblackwomen.org, subject line announcements. Make sure to get that to us the Saturday before the Sunday call by 6 p.m. so we can get that into the announcements. With that, we have our C4 donation link. So if you'd like to send a little love, you can use our C4 donation link. That, sisters, is our announcements for this evening. And you know, we always like to end our calls as we begin our calls in the spirit. And so joining us this evening to wrap us up and take us out in the spirit is our good sister, Cassandra Brown. Cassandra, thank you. The floor is yours.
Graced evening, sisters. It is always an honor and a pleasure to be here. Each year I pick a song around my birthday. And so this year the song is Some of Us Are Brave by Danielle Ponder. Last year it was Signable Say, and the song was Breathe. So you'll hear a little bit of that sprinkled out. So tonight I honor each of you on the call. We honor the team carrying this vision forward. We honor our elders on the call who not only survived Jim Crow 1.0, but who are yet holding on through this present civil rights crisis. Now I honor our ancestors. We welcome them. Come now, rest a while. You've been in overtime, protecting, guiding, praying, and yes, fighting on our behalf. We honor you. We thank you. Come now, join us before the throne of our Most High, Creator of all things. Let's land here for a minute. Rest here where it's safe, it's soft, it's sacred, but it's solid. Mighty God, our Father, our Keeper, our way maker, we come to you right now as your servant daughters, not scattered, not siloed, not competing. We come gathered because you said where 2 or 3 are gathered, you are right there in the middle. So, Father, with the collection of Black women gathered on this call, we declare and decree you are in the middle of it all, in the middle of the battle, in the middle of the healing, and even in the middle of our sacred rest. And Father, thank you for this kind of space where we can come and be and just exhale. Songwriter Sinabo says, I love it here because I don't have to explain to them why I'm beautiful, because we're all beautiful. This is that kind of sisterhood where we don't have to audition to belong, where we can be ourselves and shine our lights with no problems. Like songwriter Danielle Ponder says, we don't want no problems. Now, Lord, in the name of Jesus, we make a decision tonight. We will forgive and forget past transgressions, real and perceived, not because it didn't matter, not because it didn't hurt, but because division is too expensive and we don't have that kind of budget. Resources may be few, but pulled together, what a mighty impact. We can't all do everything, Lord, but we promise we will all do something. So tonight we say all hands on deck, and we declare it like our mama and them declared it. We ain't gonna let nobody turn us around, nor fear, nor ego, nor distractions. Definitely not now. Because right now, Lord, we find ourselves standing in the thick of the battle. So clothe us in your full armor, oh God. Truth on our waist, righteousness on our chest, peace on our feet, faith in our hands, salvation on our minds, and the sword of the Spirit in our mouths. So we only speak life and we only speak freedom. Bow down when the kingdom comes. Take note when we speak our tongues, because we will speak truth with love and with power. Now, Father, bring each and every one of your special baby girls on this call tonight a rest like no other, a rest that cultivates, recognizes, and receives your divine downloads, downloads of strategy, of creativity, downloads of hope, oh God. Give us discernment and divine connection with allies. Keep our hearts protected, oh God. Keep our hearts prepared and free from division. And Father, for every woman who has been made to feel unsafe in her own power, Sister Sinabo say named it, and we name it here before you tonight. She said, back home, they're scared of me. Oh, so scared of me that I became scared of me. Some of us have become scared of our own power, oh God, but not tonight. We do not partner with fear. Heal what was torn, restore what was stolen, oh God. Love our broken hearts into wholeness. Remind every daughter what you already decided about her. Shift our smiles, oh God. Shift our faith, oh God, our perspectives and our expectations. Take every nothing and love it into something. Take every broken place and make it a testimony, oh God. Every tired place in the body, the mind, or the spirit, give it holy rest, oh God. And God, we thank you for our lineage. Some of us come from a long, powerful line of sister ancestor warriors, praying women, working women, freedom dreaming women, made a way out of no way women. And others of us are the start, the beginning, the first chapter of a long line of sister warriors. So, Father, bless the legacy behind us and the legacy flowing through us. And we thank you, Lord, for making our Blackness enough. Thank you for making us enough. And we thank you even more, God, for you are more than enough. We love you, oh God. So we leave this call gathered. We leave this call armored, and we declare forward ever, backward never. In Jesus' name, may God and the ancestors be pleased with our service, because it is by his grace and by their perseverance that we are able to stand here yet holding on today. Ashe, amen, and ashe. Bless you, sisters, and may you rest well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Cassandra. That was fabulous. That was
I
fabulous.
mean, she said the vision is too expensive and we ain't got that kind of budget. I was
Oh,
done.
that's right.
That was it for me. She could have said amen, Ashe, and all the things at that point, because that
Right.
is what it was. Listen, y'all
Come
know
on
I
now.
love a good inclusion moment. I'm still in that one. I don't know who said it first, but the vision is too expensive and we ain't got that kind of budget. Ooh, child,
I
that's
know
a
that's
t-shirt.
right.
Look,
Yes.
look. Well, sisters, we have had a time. We have learned about the Black Lady News. We have learned about the marches. We on Freedom Summer. We're gonna get up and watch the documentary tomorrow. We're
Yep.
gonna come to some of these Win with Black Women State Network events.
Yep.
For
Get
those in
trained. We gonna
DC, we're
go.
gonna learn about we got some sisters gonna learn about ranked choice voting, and our good sisters at Win with Black Women DC are gonna help with that event over there too. We've
I got
learned
my
about
glamour. I got my
AI.
glamour box.
You got your glamour box.
The glamour
Don't
gray
forget,
box.
don't forget, we had our congressional briefing too from
Yep.
Representative Terry Sue. We done did a whole lot.
We have. Did we miss anybody? Did we miss
Listen, if
anybody?
we did, they gonna
We'll
have to
get
be
on the
on
next one.
in the 2 weeks. Yeah, they gonna have
Okay.
to join us in 2 weeks because this one right here is over.
Right.
Okay. Well, sisters, the time has come. I think we might have a little bit of after hours. If y'all want to come hang with us for just a little bit, you can join us in after hours. Holly and Q, any words before we pop out?
No, we just love being with our sisters, this is our sacred time, our sacred space, and we thank you all for showing up. We appreciate you all. We hope that you were informed, empowered, and inspired. And so that's our goal every week, that we come on these calls is, to make sure that you are able to win with Black women wherever you are, and we want to help keep you winning.
Well,
Amen.
That's the word.
I have one question. Because I forgot to mention we need some circle leaders. Have we hit our 1,000 yet, Holly?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, we hit
yeah.
our 1,000. We working on 2.
Oh, look
Oh,
at that. Shut up.
Yeah,
come
we hit
on.
our 1,000, and in fact, we have even registered or verified well over 1,200 people. So it's working.
Okay. Well, I missed that
And
part.
we
My
just
bad.
getting started. And we just getting started.
We gotta
Yeah.
clap for the people. We gotta clap for the people for responding to the call. Because we be telling y'all to do a
Hey,
lot of
Black
stuff,
women
but we
do the
don't be
thing. They just
celebrating.
need to get out our way and let us do our thing and stop
Right.
messing with us. We got this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just take myself on over here to the triplet room, to the breakout
And
on
room.
also, there's a lot of states that are early voting. South Carolina, this is our second week of early voting. So we're trying to keep the momentum going. We're trying to hit 200,000 people in this second week of early voting. So make sure you go vote, take your family, take your friends, text. I wanted to say this too. You are your own influencer. You don't need to wait for people with huge followings to post information. Everything that we're sharing with you, please share it with your family and friends, even if it's just in your family group chat. That is 5 people that didn't have the information, or 10 people that didn't have the information. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, all your chats in your phone. that you're your own influencer right now. Like we said, we can't depend on the news. We can't depend on folks that
Except
like
the Black Lady News. We could depend on that.
the Black Lady
Yeah.
News. I'm in mainstream media news. Like we can't, so we have to be our own source of information for our own people.
Yes,
So the
California,
churches,
Georgia,
Yeah.
Maryland, South Carolina, all voting.
yes,
Primary in New Jersey on Tuesday. So we are doing all the things. Voting is happening.
yes,
All
come
right.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I love my sisters. They always so informed. These are the ladies that in the know.
Listen, we just do it. We just follow their lead. They tell us what to say, and we try to say it. So
Yep.
listen, we wish you rest unless you about to come for foolishness. We will be in the triplet room. The federal workers room is